Hello, my name is Janet Simmons and welcome to the third video in Module 2. In this video, we will examine multimodal literacy. There are two analysis questions in this video. Answering these questions will help you focus on your personal engagement with multimodality. Did you know you are using multiple ways to communicate? How does multimodality help with communication? In the previous video, we noted there are various types of literacy, and we focused on digital literacy. Many of these literacies are connected, as we're about to find out. Multimodality means many ways. We are looking specifically at communications. We communicate using many means, such as words, images, gestures, actions, and sounds. We use all of these to make meaning of what is communicated to us, and we also use these to communicate with others. In fact, we make assumptions based on the combined representation of these many ways. Multimodality has emerged in response to the changing social and semiotic landscape. Key to the multimodal perspective on literacy is the basic assumption that meanings are made, as well as distributed, interpreted, and remade through many representational and communicational resources. From a multimodal perspective, images, actions, and so forth are referred to as modes, as organized sets of semiotic resources for meaning making. For example, your approach to creating a video assignment would likely change if you could use only music and photos. And how would your approach change if you could only use speech and use gestures? Or think about these three images on the screen. Together, what meaning do you make of them? Did you interpret the meaning I was attempting to communicate? We communicate with each other in various ways. Because we are used to how we communicate, we don't immediately recognize them as individual components of communication. According to Bessemer, multimodality has three theoretical assumptions. First, multimodality assumes that representation in communication always draws on multiple modes, all of which contribute to meaning. Second, multimodality assumes that resources are socially shaped over time to become meaning-making resources that articulate the social, individual, and effective means demanded by the requirements of different communities. Third, people orchestrate meaning through the selection and configuration of modes, foregrounding the significance in the interaction between modes. Thus, all communicational acts are shaped by the norms and the rules operating at the moment of sign-making and influenced by the motivations and interests of people in a specific social context. Communication is based on cultural norms. For example, in China, the color white is associated with death, but in Western culture, it signifies purity and peace. And same and similar hand gestures can be problematic when traveling. For example, this is a sign meaning okay for us in North America. But don't use that gesture in Brazil unless you want to offend someone. As educators, we need to be aware of some of these cultural differences, but we also have to use multimodality means of communication. We must be multimodal literate and know how to present information in many ways simultaneously to our learners. An example is this video. You are listening to me speak, reading some text, interpreting the meaning of accompanying graphics, and hearing the music in the background. The words, text, graphics, and sounds are intentionally selected to convey meaning and to engage the audience in the information presented. When we meet in the tutorial, we will use voice, some of us will type in the chat box, we will share visual resources, and we'll be able to see each other's body language. All of these contribute meaning to our learning and understanding of the information. Researchers note that multimodal text production is important across cultures and societies and during all phases of our lives. These researchers go on to say that reading and writing are rarely practiced without other multimodal aids. Interpreting and creating multimodal education can be challenging, as we must remember the meaning making of the various media. For us digital specialists, experts suggest we distinguish between 3 classes of production technologies. A technology is at hand, such as pens, brushes, and chisels. And another one is recording technologies, such as audio recordings and photography and film. The third technology is synthesizing representations digitally, such as keyboard and computers. If we think about it, there are areas that can easily overlap. For example, I usually use a pencil to sketch out diagrams. Later, I'll create a digital representation of the diagram for a presentation or insert it in a paper. To recap, multimodality addresses a wide variety of ways we make meaning from what we make, as well as distribute, interpret, and remake. This can be seen through the social or cultural lens. As a digital context, there is a wide variety of ways to achieve this, but we must also be digitally literate to successfully accomplish what we have set out to do. If we are not information literate, we do not have the critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills to be successful. There are 2 synthesis questions for this video. As educators, we have to continually hone our multimodal skills and knowledge. It affects our academic lives as well as the lives of our learners. Multimodality plays an important part in how we communicate, interact, and learn. In our digital world, it's impossible to concentrate on one-dimensional communications. As educators, it's incumbent upon us to help learners achieve their academic goals, and this is often done by presenting multimodal learning opportunities. See you in the next video.